we're going to start with 1 can of pumpkin puree in a mixing bowl. Do not use pumpkin pie filling. That's got a bunch of stuff in it. We're going to put our own stuff in. So 1 can of pumpkin puree, to which we're going to add 1 whole egg plus 3 egg yolks. And if you're one of these people that always gets that giant crevice, that big gaping crack down the middle of your pie after it's cooled, you're going to love this recipe. This has been adapted to avoid that. The main reason for that problem is overcooked egg white. When that cools, that causes that big crack, that separation. We're not going to have that here, okay? Next up, we need our dairy and our sugar, which we're going to get in the same ingredient by adding 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. I really like this better than the recipes that call for evaporated milk and sugar. And believe it or not, that's pretty much our pumpkin pie filling, except, of course, for the spices. And here's what I put in. We're going to go with some freshly grated nutmeg. You know, we're also going to add some cinnamon, a pinch of Chinese 5-spice, to be mysterious, and some ground ginger. All right, so we're going to take a whisk and we're going to mix that very, very thoroughly. And as I was mixing this, I realized I'd forgotten one of the most important ingredients, the salt. Which sounds kind of weird for a dessert, but without that salt, you're going to get a very flat taste. Once that was mixed very, very, very thoroughly, it's time to pour it into a prepared pie shell. You could use pre-made, pre-rolled pie dough like I did. And once you tap that, we're going to place that in the center of a preheated 425-degree oven for just 15 minutes. Then turn it down to 350 for another 30 to 35 minutes, or until it's just barely set. And here's how you're going to be able to tell. We're going to test it with the tip of a knife. That you see that perfectly clean. So that means the pie's done. Even if the center's slightly undercooked, it will continue to cook as it cools. But you'll see here, I tested all the way to the center, and it came out clean. And we're going to cool that completely before we try to cut it.